And now, News 4's Weather Extra.
Ryan, for the forecast, a lot of snow fell on Tuesday. You said 5 inches, not 5.5 inches.
That's right, I did.
That'll teach him.
Do not try that at home. We are trained professionals.
Trained professionals. But, you said 5.5 inches, but we actually got 6, right?
You want to go again?
Yeah, let's go again. Absolutely. Rematch outside right now.
I love this guy. It's great doing the show with him. Yeah, he's fine. We're fine.
We're fine.
We were tracking that snow yesterday coming on through. It was really impressive. In the Wiregrass, we measured 5.5, 6 inches downtown. Other parts of the area got even more. Here's meteorologist Zach Webster to break it down.
Yesterday was a very snowy day for us around the region as we saw that snowstorm make its way across the southeast, and that gave us some pretty healthy snowfall totals as well. The first list we'll take a look at is just some of the general snowfall totals from some of the bigger communities, towns, and cities around the region. Enterprise, Midland City both leading the way at 8 inches, 7 inches in Andalusia, 7 inches as well in Donaldsonville, 6 inches in Geneva. Those snowfall totals get a little bit lower as you get farther down the list. 4.8 inches in Troy, just 2 inches over in Laverne. A couple of repeats here. Now we're looking at some of the higher end snowfall reports that we saw from around the region yesterday. Babby, Alabama, in between Opp and Andalusia, saw 11 inches of snow, 9.3 inches in Beck, 8 inches in High Falls, and then even over in Pansy, they also saw 8 inches of snow.
So there were 2 bullseyes when it comes to snow totals. One was in our area. The other bullseye was in South Louisiana. Some of those numbers exceptional. Looking at what happened around Lafayette, for example, 9, 10 inches, about 8 to 9 inches, 10 inches around New Orleans. And then where you're from, some pretty good snow.
Yeah, we had some pretty good snow, and the closer it got to Georgia, I saw more of that snow-sleet mix, but they definitely had some good values right along the coastline. Our house is right on the marshland, and you could see snow and sleet piling up there.
Incredible.
Yeah.
3 inches in Savannah, about 4.5 inches in Myrtle Beach, and you can see all the peanut fields and cotton fields, that white showing up, the visible satellite this morning. That's like a camera in space looking down on the earth, and all that white is snow cover this morning from Houston all the way up through the Carolinas. A heck of a storm and historic storm, and what's amazing about this one is it covered the entire Wiregrass. It wasn't like one area got 4 inches and other spots got nothing. We all had accumulating snow and made a bunch of cool things out there today. Incredible. This is one of my favorites. Check this out, because we saw a lot of snowmen, and I love the snowman. I built a big one today, but what about an igloo from Danielle and Randy Whitehead? How about that? Precious.
That is really impressive. How they could pick up all of that snow, even make a roof. I barely can make a snowman just about 6 inches tall. I don't know how they were able to do that.
Yeah, I did a tutorial today, by the way, on how to make a snowman. It's on my Facebook page, and there's a link to the video, because you don't just pile it up with your arms, all right? Just a quick hint here. Come back to the 2-shot. Don't just do this and pile it up. You take a snowball, you roll it, turn it and roll it, and all of a sudden it gets bigger and bigger. So
and for me in the South, this is news to me. I've never gone through a tutorial, so go and watch that, because I learned so much watching that.
That's my childhood coming out in a video, because that's how we did it back in the day where I grew up in Illinois.
Yeah.
So really impressive for sure. All right, coming up next, we've got a lot to cover, including the cold air that is covering us and will really intensify overnight. That is next.
And now, News 4's Weather Extra.
Welcome back to Weather Extra. Scenes across the South yesterday and this morning that we don't normally see, at least across the deep South. Tennessee, Kentucky, northern parts of Alabama, but this is South Alabama. Vehicles stranded, and sometimes for hours because of that snow and ice. What a mess it was.
Looking at scenes like this almost looks like what we were watching out for Arkansas a couple weeks ago with that big snow that came through. And of course, they got 7 to 10 inches there as well. But this is why we've been talking so much about the effect of this ice shutting down roadways. It is very easy for vehicles to slip when that happens.
And there's some refreezing out there tonight. So tomorrow morning there will be some icy spots, not nearly as bad as it was this morning or widespread when every single road was covered up. But some areas tomorrow, you mentioned the shaded areas.
Yes.
Some of the rural roads that have really thick tree canopies where there wasn't much melting today. Some of those will be icy probably until Saturday morning, at least in spots. It was a cold one out there today, and it's cold at this hour as well. Check out low temperatures this morning. Officially 9 in Dothan, even though it says 10. There's been some communication issues, I think, with that ASOS at the airport. 9 this morning in Blakely, 10 in Troy. These numbers, phenomenal. Let me show you what we've seen so far this winter and where this compares to normal. 9 degrees this winter. That was this morning. And Ryan, that stat is incredible.
That is really incredible. All the way back to 1989, and I believe you said earlier this was the third coldest morning that we've ever seen in Dothan. Is
Yes,
that right?
the coldest since records began in 1965, 4 degrees. The second coldest, 8 degrees, and then there was another night back there in 1989 where it was 9, and now we're 9. So you look at, since 1965, there's been roughly 21,900 days and nights, and this is number 3.
Number
out
3.
of almost 22,000. How about that?
And
Cold.
it's very impressive. And I mean, we knew with the amount of snowfall we were going to get, we were likely going to see record-breaking temperatures, and we could see that tonight.
Yeah, it's happening pretty much right now. Once we get to midnight, officially, it'll be a new record because the record is 20 for Dothan. And the last time the airport was showing a temperature, it was down to 18 degrees. It's 19 now in Geneva, 19 in Blakely, 16 in Crestview. We've covered radiational cooling a few times doing Weather Extra. It's ideal tonight. Clear skies, light winds, snow on the ground, so that warmth that we built up today is escaping to space, and it leads to temperatures like this. Tomorrow morning, there could be some lower teens to upper single digits again. Tomorrow, a little bit of a recovery, some melting out there, but tomorrow night it all freezes over. Low temperatures, middle to lower 20s, and even some upper teens again for Friday morning. Friday, a little bit warmer, but then some more cold air comes into the weekend. Saturday morning, upper teens possible again.
It just won't end until we get
won't
some
end.
more of that warmer air this weekend.
It will begin to warm up as we go through time. Some tips here for you. Drip faucets tonight, open sink cabinet doors to allow that warmth in there. Beware of black ice until late morning tomorrow. Shaded roadways, icy again Friday morning. And a couple more tips here. Freezing air each morning into Sunday. So be prepared, a full thaw Sunday into next week. And that leads to tomorrow night's show. We will get to the pattern flip that is on the way beginning next week that carries into February. We've been eyeing this for a long time.
Yeah, that's right.
Say goodbye to the really cold air, at least for a little while.
Finally, some relief. I love it.
Can't wait. That's the show for tonight. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow night right here on News 4.